Well, good evening and welcome to this special Honest That Sports Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is Paul Fedden and Scott Barnes, two gentlemen heavily involved with the sport of snooker in Bermuda. Paul, I must say, over the last few years, it's been people like you who have kept this sport alive in Bermuda. How long have you been involved in the sport?
Well, I actually started playing when I was about 13, Earl, a long time ago. It then became actually very expensive in the UK to play. And back in those days, in the late 80s, I think I was earning about £27 a week.
Wow.
And back in those days, there's very little money. And actually, the price of playing snooker per hour went up to about £8. And I had to make a decision to put the cue down for a number of years. But the sport's never left me. I've always really been interested. I keep up to date with everything that's going on. But then I then ended up picking up the cue in 2016 and entering the league here in Bermuda and getting very involved with that, and also with the International Snooker League.
Yeah, Scott, what got you involved in snooker? Because what a lot of people don't realize is how fascinated that game can be.
Yeah, so I actually started a long time ago myself, 20 odd years ago, down at the Spanish Point Boat Club. When I was always a member down at the boat club, growing up as a teenager, loved playing pool down there. And back then, snooker was really popular. A lot of the older gentlemen, Friday nights down at the club, would be playing snooker all night. And, I used to sit there and watch them. And wasn't allowed on the table back then because I was too young. And always loved the sport, always loved watching it. And when I got, tall enough and old enough to start playing myself, just started playing and learning it. And really loved it. It's a hard game. There's a lot of concentration. And I started the snooker league when I was 15. Actually, I had to get permission from all the other clubs to go into the bar area because I was underage to play snooker. So we've been doing it for a while. And it's just a game that's really really fascinating and really hard to learn, and something you can never perfect. You can a lot of practice to get good at it, and it's something that you always look to get better at.
Sure. Well, we have the 2023-2024 season upon us. Paul, what would you like to see this year that hasn't happened, in the last few years? Are you guys hoping to attract more teams, more players, or new players on old teams?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got some players that have gone dormant over the years for whatever reasons, be it family. A lot of these guys have had children or whatever else, and have bowed out. I'd like to get those guys back involved, and I'd also like to appeal for some new blood in the sport. Obviously, keeping it alive hasn't been the easiest thing over the last few years. COVID really didn't help us with that. We were doing very well up to that point. We'd increased the numbers. We had more teams. But as the last few years have gone on, it's taken its toll on everybody, in every area. And obviously, snooker is one of the ones that suffered a bit as well. So we've lost a few players. We'd like some more players back. We'd like to appeal for new blood. I know there's a lot of guys in from the UK that play snooker, but they maybe don't realise there's a league or how to get involved with us and get in touch.
Yeah. Scott, a few years ago, a club like Queen's Club had 3 teams battling out. They had, had table, so they'll have a home and away and have to play another, on another night because the 3 teams couldn't play on the same night. But they've switched now to pool. How, in your eyes, how disappointing is it that, a club like that had 3 teams are now down to, if they have one or none at all?
Yeah, it's definitely disappointing to see these clubs getting away from snooker. Back in the day, Old Colony Club, that's no longer around. They had 3 tables.
Yeah, they had 3. Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of teams back in the day, and now it seems like more and more clubs are getting away from snooker and going more into pool, which is also a great sport. But Warwick Workman's Club, I just joined their club 2 years ago, and I played for them last season. They had 2 tables. They're now down to 1. So it's like these clubs are just slowly dwindling away from snooker, and it's sad to see, and it's something that, like Paul said, we really want to see, come back to life in Bermuda, and have more guys coming back out, and guys that, like Paul said, used to play, come back out and try to rebuild it back up in Bermuda.
Yeah. So generally snooker's played on a Wednesday night in Bermuda, or the league is played on Wednesday night, but teams can sometimes change their night if they have things that are going on and so forth. Do you guys think the Wednesday night is the best night for snooker? Because I know on Thursday nights they have pool, and that sometimes changes as well. So do you guys think the Wednesday night's the best night for snooker?
Well, from my perspective, because it can be a late night, it would be better if it was closer to a weekend. But the pool league is very, very busy, and a lot of these guys actually play in both leagues. That makes things a little bit difficult, and I wouldn't want to lose any more people to the pool league by changing it to a day which clashes even more with them. So there's no ideal solution to it, really. Wednesday's kind of the day we've got that most clubs have accepted as snooker night, and so that's why we've just kept it at that. We do get times where we have to postpone and games have to be rescheduled and etc., and they do get played on alternative night where it can be done. But, generally speaking, we have to stick with what's available to us at the moment. And Wednesday seems to be where the clubs have settled and where the league has settled. So.
Yeah. And Dart League plays on Mondays too. So you got Monday taken, Thursdays for the pool. It's kind of just the night that works. Like Paul said, some games get made up, but.
Yeah. Now, I'm happy to see Watford Sports Club still involved. Sands Boat Club, St. George's Dinghy Club, RAA. As you said, Spanish Point, Warwick. It's good that although they're down to like one table, but it's good to see that they're keeping their traditions alive. Only because snooker's played a valuable part in the community. To allow people to learn how to. And I'm going to ask you, Paul, and I'll ask you as well, Scotty. The integral parts of snooker. I mean, people watch it all the time and would see a whole bunch of red balls on the table and then see this blue ball, this green ball, this yellow ball, this, how difficult is it to manage a snooker game, let alone a tournament, but a snooker game?
You mean as a novice coming in, or
yeah, as a novice, yeah.
Well, once you get the actual idea of how the game goes, you pick it up pretty quickly, actually. But it is more difficult to master than pool for a lot of different reasons. Obviously, more balls. The balls are the pockets are smaller, I should say. The table is bigger. Those things are challenges for people coming into the sport certainly from pool. But it generally is fairly easy to pick up. And the people that have crossed over from pool have ended up really enjoying it. And actually, some people have actually preferred it to the original game that they were playing. So, it just goes to show that if people give it a chance, give it a go, they actually can get caught by the bug. It does happen.
It's funny you should say that. I did for a period of time. I was at the RAA club one afternoon, and God rest his soul, Campbell Simons was there, and he said, "Let me show you how to play this game." And he was trying to tell me as he was beating me very badly.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that. So you know what? The next day, I was there on the table by myself trying to figure this game out.
Yeah.
Because as you say, the holes are smaller, the table's bigger. Angles is very difficult at times, as less and less balls get on the table, shots become harder.
Yeah.
Because of the reach and everything.
So the big difference I feel between pool and snooker is a lot more strategy involved with snooker. Whereas pool, it's a small table, big pockets. You got 8 balls to sink. It's more just putting. Here you got playing safe. You have where you're going to leave the white ball. It's a long. You have to think about the game a lot more than pool. And I feel majority of the snooker players will tell you that snooker will make you a better pool player 100%.
I would agree with that.
But it's nice to get, pool leagues in Bermuda seems to be growing and in a great spot. It'd be great to see a lot of these pool players, come over and try their hand at some snooker. It would definitely make their pool game a lot better. It'd be nice to see some of these pool players. There is a handful that play both sports. It would be nice to see more of them come out and try the harder game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When are you guys hoping to get this season underway?
So we're just kind of settling on what teams we've got at the moment. We're trying to get a few more players in before the start of it, but if we can't get that in, we're looking to start it within the next 2 weeks. So I've kind of given a little bit of extra space so that we can see if we can just get these last few people in that would actually make it a lot better for everybody. And then we're aiming to kick it off pretty much within 2 weeks. So
sure. I know you guys generally have open tournaments. You have team tournaments and stuff throughout the season. What starts the season off? The league or a like an open tournament of sorts?
The league starts it off. Generally, what would happen is we would run. The next one would probably be the Silver Cup handicap. Would be the next tournament that I'd bring in, and then after that, it sort of works its way through the Bermuda Open. Singles and doubles, and also the Mike Zimmerman Cup that we put in last year to honour Mr. Zimmerman, who we sadly lost to COVID. So there's quite a lot going on. We've got more tournaments going on now than we've had certainly since I've been involved, and in memory, really. There's lots of new stuff going on. So we're hoping, this will bring renewed interest. There's prizes to be won in it as well. It's not just, we're not doing it just for glory. There is usually some money involved. Not loads, but enough, to make it a bit interesting, so everyone can do with a bit of extra cash.
Yeah, definitely.
That's kind of the idea, But there's a lot of good stuff going on. So I'm just hoping we can get a little bit more interest going, get some of these players back in the game, and it'll be better for everybody.
Yeah. So let me ask you: the Silver Open Cup, the Handicap Cup, do you have to be a member of a club in the snooker league to actually take part in that, or
not in the tournaments? Not in the tournaments. You can enter as a non-member to play the tournaments. So it's slightly more tricky with the league. There are certain clubs that have got rules that mean you have to, if you want to represent the club in the league, you do have to be a member. Others will make exceptions. So it really depends on the kind of club that you're going to play for, really.
Okay, so my handicap, I'll probably be in the final. I got to buy right through. So my handicap. so Scott, with the build up to this year, how is your team shaping up?
So like I said earlier, I joined Workman's last year and playing with Stephen Brimmer and Zane Da Silva and Ray Da Silva, and keeping the same team. Looking to do a little better than we did last year. We got off to a slow start, but we had a strong finish. Actually ended up winning two of the tournaments. We're definitely looking to come out and do a better showing than last year and give the top guys a run for their money.
And Paul, what about your team?
Well, we've been very successful with the league over the last, and the tournaments as well, to be fair, are very successful with the league over the last 3 outings. I think we've had all 3 of them. So we'll be looking to try and hold on to that cup for another season. But these guys are hard on our tails. They are hard on our tails. Those guys and Spanish Point team they're good competitors. They're tough guys to beat. So we won it by the skin of our pants last time. So seat of our pants, I should say. So it's possible we could lose it, but we're going to be trying to hold on to it desperately.
Use all that experience that you have and everything. But I know Scott and Warwick, they're going to be coming looking because I know that last year that they did make a big challenge at the end, but the experienced guys held them off. Scott, maybe this year you get the better of them.
Yeah, we'll just start a little bit faster. Like I said, we started off pretty slow last year with a new team, building that camaraderie, but we're good to go for this year. It'd be nice to see, old clubs like St. George's Club. They used to have teams back in the day. I'm pretty sure they still have a snooker table down there. It'd be nice to see clubs like that and teams like that used to play to come back out, and old players that used to play. It'd be nice to see these guys come back out and girls, not just for the guys.
Right.
Like Paul said, it'd be nice to get these guys to come back out and have a go at it again, see if they still got it.
Yeah. And one more thing, the art of making sure the doubles, because that's where games are won and lost most nights. The doubles. How do you guys pick partners for that? Is it something that you guys play together enough to know, okay, these two work well together, or is it just on the night, okay, Scott, you're going to play with Paul?
Yeah, so how it's worked the last couple of years is we've had singles games with the 2 to 3 players. And somebody will play twice in a single game, and then the other 2 players will team up to play the doubles. This year, the committee got together there, and I think we're going to look at actually changing up the format and actually getting rid of the doubles in the league. So we're going to play 2 singles games per person per night.
Oh, wow.
We'll still have the doubles and the Bermuda Open doubles for sure. That will stay around. But I think the committee decided we're going to try something different this year and try to do some more singles and get everyone to show their best hand in the singles.
Yeah, that kind of actually keeps the night the same length, doesn't it?
Well, it makes it a bit more even. But the other thing is, a lot of guys actually don't like playing doubles, and so I wondered, and so did the rest of the committee, by having the doubles involved, are we losing guys that would maybe come out if we scrapped the doubles and made it 2 singles? And so this is another reason for changing it up a little bit, just to see if we can drag a few of these guys back out now that they don't have to sit and play the doubles at the end, because a lot of people find that kind of tiring, a bit tawdry.
Right.
So hopefully that would generate a bit of interest. So that's one of the options we got.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. We look forward to covering the Snooker League this year coming up. And good luck. And may the best team win the 2023-24 Snooker League.
Thank you very much, El. Have a great evening.
Sure.
All right.
Oh, thank you.